want to talk a little bit about vertical or vert stack. So what you see in front of you is a traditional vert stack. Now there's a bunch of different ways of running this. I'm just going to teach you the way that I normally teach it. There's a bunch of reasons why I prefer to use this cutting style from where we cut to. There's plenty of other ones, different ways of doing it, but I think this is a good way to start, and then as you grow and learn the stack, you can kind of free flow, or you can change the positioning of cutters, like as in their who cuts first. So what I always say is we have, first off, the cutters are in a line. There are going to be 5 cutters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So cutter 1 is here, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these are the people who are cutting or making the moves to get the disc. They're moving to get open. Back here are handlers. We have 2 handlers. Both of these handlers are able to move wherever they want to, and they don't have to even stay. Like if they get a free space to run up to it, they can move at any point they want to. But we're trying not to move up into this space unless it's just wide open, because I want our cutters to cut. Okay, so let's break it down by section. So cutters, we cut from the back. So whoever's in the back, they're the person who needs to be cutting. And usually it's about a 3 count. So we'll say 1, 2, 3, and then cut. So as you cut, it's 1, 2, 3, you're still finishing your cut running down, and then the next person should start cutting to whichever way, in or out. Now what we want to do though, is we want to decide, you have 4 options of where to cut to. So I could fake in and cut deep, I could fake out and then cut in, I could go to the break side and fake out and then come in, or I could fake out and then go deep. Now, we want to make sure when we go to the break side, we're going out first and then going away, not just going straight by our person, because we don't want to cause a pick. And we can discuss more of that, what picks later, but right now I just want to make sure we understand when you come out of a stack, you need to step forward a little bit and then make your move, unless you have really good spacing that's pretty far apart. But a lot of times we're tired, and so there won't be so much spacing. Usually we're about 2 to 3 meters away from each other. So that way there's plenty of room, so that if someone's guarding you, they're within the 3 meters, so that you have space to cut. But again, sometimes it gets jumbled in here and you're tired. So we've got to make sure we know where to be and how to cut out of the stack. So this is a vertical stack. It's because we're cutting more vertically and we're lined up in a vertical area in the stack. So the same horizontal still this way, but we don't cut more of the angular way, or at an angle, where this way we will cut at an angle. All right, so cutting's like that. So we go 1, 2, 3. You could cut 1, 2, 3. You want to give enough time. And what we do is, as that person cuts, we need to be moving down. And then as they come back in, they should be coming into that 2, and then coming into that 2 spot or the 3 spot, wherever you feel comfortable going into. And you're just basically getting back in line to be the next person to cut. I can't move more than 1 at a time. Otherwise I'd be moving these things as just 1, 2, 3, move, 1, 2, 3, move, 1, 2, 3, move. Now, you'll probably have noticed the cutter 1, I did not have you move up into this line. Cutter 1 acts as a handler and as keeping our stack exactly where we want it to be. So the first person in the stack will say, stack on me, stack on me. If he sees that people, let's say we have people cutting and there's actually like some reason timing got off and now we have all the people cutting out here, cutter 1 has to look at the field and say, stack on me, stack on me. And as you come in, restack up and then start cutting again. We've got to make sure we're in a good order and that there's enough space, because what happens is when we add defenders in a minute, and I'll show you defenders, there's too many people out in these lanes. We have 2 major areas where we want the disc thrown. This area right here and this area right here. But if there's too many people out here, if there's 2 people out in this area, that means there's actually 4 people out in this area. And so it makes it almost impossible to throw to unless it's a deep throw, or maybe they're playing like this. Then it really is all but impossible. So we don't want to clog, we call it clogging the lanes. Clogging the lanes. We don't want it messed up where there's too many people in one area. So What this does is when the disc, we're lined up about 10 to probably about 10 meters from the disc. So one, you're the one that's, you call it setting the stack. You decide where everybody is. You would set up and say stack on me from the pool or wherever we are. And then once that happens, the cuts start to occur. Now let's say that the disc gets thrown to this person. One, you need to quickly run up to where you're 10 meters away, stack on me, and everybody else should be clearing out, trying to get the stack going. Now, you don't have to get lined up in an actual stack. You could go ahead and cut deep like you would be from the line, but we have to get lined up again, just like this, and we're making sure that we have space. So again, let's say I moved it too quick. We should have stayed up here. So let's just say I don't have enough space on here, but you can kind of see how everybody would stack up on here. Now what happens is the handlers need to run, and again, just like how we did in horizontal, so in this one we're going to have 3 seconds. You're going to hold the disc, you're going to look up line, stall 1, 2, 3. If somebody's open or maybe they made a deep cut and you could throw to them, hit them, throw that disc. It's got to be a real high percentage throw. But if you're tired and you're like, I can't make that throw, I don't think, then just take a second, look back again, find one of your handlers, make eye contact. Just give them a head nod, something where they know that you're going to throw to them. Let them move, and then just toss it back to them. Once they do that, you need to clear out and get back in the stack, usually like in the 2 or 3 position, because you're probably tired from making that position, okay? And then the handler, offside handler, you want to stay back. And we're going to talk about handlers now. So let's go ahead and, let's go backwards. Let's go back to where we were originally so I can talk about my handlers for a second. I think that's as far as it lets me go back. Okay, so we're going to put everybody back into position where they were. Again, these blue lines are really just to tell us what options we have. All right, so as the offside handler, there's only one of you now. The best cut you can make is an upline cut if you have it. If it's not there, you have to be able to get back behind. You don't need to play even if at all possible, maybe even, but you're really wanting to play behind. Because if somehow they get the throw off, let's say someone cut backside and they run in here, they need to have space to throw because I'm going to add defenders on now. So a defender here, they're forcing flick. Usually the defenders are going to be on this side of the field because they're forcing flick. They're putting their bodies in between the disc and themselves. So when this happens, the defender's going to be behind. Let's say you could get the throw off somehow. They catch. We want them to have space. If you were playing up in here, your defender's playing there, even if it was wide open, there's no way they could throw this unless it's some kind of hammer over the top, which we really don't want to do. There's just too many people in the middle. So we need to be careful about where we're playing as an offside handler. We want to be back and making our guy play on us. If they start playing like this, you need to go ahead and just cut up line. Easy throw. The line will just, everybody set up. First in the stack, we go stack on me, set up, and everybody is going into position. And you continually cut. We don't really want to stop and reset every time. You're just going to have one person cut, and while they're cutting, everybody else can be getting in order. What we don't want is everybody out of the stack. This is too many people. That's too many defenders in different places, and that's just chaos. We don't want to be running chaos. We want our stuff to be in good order, because now it's almost impossible to get something off. It's just going to be a lucky catch if something happens. There's just too many chances for defense to make a play here. Too many bodies and too many places moving quickly. So that is what we don't want. We want to be organized, and that is hard. And even if you are the one that recognizes it and you see that everybody else is in chaos, you have to be vocal and say, we need to get back in the stack, get back in the stack. So we need to get back in this position. And during that time, handlers, you can say things like, there's no cutters, or I need a stack, and you guys can work together to get open. So I move the disc up here, throw the disc, catch, and go. Now, Let's say that the disc is here. As a handler, I want to be on the opposite side, on the opposite of the force side. Couple reasons. One is my defender will not see me coming up line. They're gonna have to rely on their sideline or the other defender telling them that I'm coming up line. Two is that I'm moving the defender away from where the disc is supposed to be thrown, where they're forcing it to throw. If I'm here, the defender could play a little bit off and they're really guarding a whole area plus me. We don't want this. So if you just find yourself in this position, go ahead and cut back because they have to follow you and get on this other side. So now we're back in position. At stall six, we've got to get rid of that disc. So you need to yell 666. So now you get to cut wherever you want as the offside handler. What happens now that's odd is that number one, when you hear 6, your duties of making sure the stack is in order is not your problem anymore. Your number one priority is to get open. So you can cut horizontally, you can cut wherever you want to get the disc to reset it. So let's say you cut open and you just happen to get open, the disc gets thrown to you. You're quickly looking for the disc, up line if there happens to be something, 1, 2, 3, and then we're throwing the disc off and getting back and resetting the stack. You're just being used as a reset for the handlers to get the disc back to 0. So again, for number one, the first person in the stack, your priority is to make sure that everybody's in the stack and that it's moving well. You're like the line leader. And you're also making sure that if you hear 6, you've got to go and help the handlers get open. So we got to help the handlers get the disc reset to not be on 6, and we want to get the stall count back down. Now, what we want to do, hold on, let me move these all down so I can not shift them. What we want to do now is we want to talk about defense a little bit. Defense is fun in this, but we are looking at having our body, just like we're going to make sure that our body is between us and the disc. So we can choose, let's say, especially the last person, you usually are going to play back so that if they happen to take off from a different position, not everybody plays this same way. Let's say they take off here or get open and they see they have a mismatch, then you have last back. But for the most part, you want to play behind them. Now, you have a choice when you play them. You play where it's in here. This means that I'm going to let you go deep. If I go even, it means I think I'm about equal athletically. I have the same ability as you. I think I can catch you if you get ahead of me. Or I'm faster, right, stronger. Or this one says you're going to go in. So I'm going to make sure you cannot go deep. You're going to go in. So we have to make a choice when we're playing defense. Of the 3, what do we think? We don't want to make the mistake of misjudging them and letting them go deep. If you go like this and you play over in a little bit, maybe you're trying to cut off the lane and they're really fast, they cut to you and then go deep, you cannot catch up. And that's an easy throw all the way around and a catch for a point possibly even. So you've got to play, especially once you're in the game, middle of the game, you're going to know about the level and what you're playing against. But we're keeping the disc, our bodies, in between the disc and the person cutting. We're looking at the cutter, we're not looking at the disc. We only look for the disc when we know that we have some time, like quick glance in, or whenever the sideline yells up. So sidelines, you have to be talking when the disc is in the air and you say up. That means I gotta look back real quick to see where the disc is. Do I need to go lower, inside, or do I need to go further out? This one is definitely more coordinated than your horizontal in that once one's going out, then the next person has to be waiting. 1, 2, 3, take off. As a defender, you need to not get picked. So let's say my offensive player runs right through here and you're within 3 meters. You're going to have to call pick. It's just hard you can't play through this person. You have the right to a direct line to play defense on your player within 3 meters, as long as you're within 3 meters. So if you're way out here and they run through, you can't call it because that's too far. But if you're playing within 3 meters of them and they run right in between and you can't run through them, or you feel like you're about to run through them, you'd stop before you hit them and call pick, even if they're all the way here. If the throw gets thrown to them and they catch it, it goes back and you get to catch up. They actually have to stay where they're at. If they throw the disc and it goes out of bounds or it lands down here, then it's a turnover and you still called the pick. So that's why we want to make sure we call the pick, because you're not actually calling it for yourself. You're really calling it for your team, because the other team broke the rules and now your team has a chance to go get the disc or catch up or reset the count if this one had a really good mark to get back to it. This is a lot of information about vert, but it is probably the most used worldwide because you are able to, a couple things. One, you can run plays out of it. Two, you can rest while you're in here. And three, you don't have to have as many handlers. So you could have two really good handlers with a third person who just feels comfortable with the disc to really run this offense. But there are a lot of things you can run out of it. There's a lot of positioning, plays, which we can talk about in a different time. But right now, this is just the basics of vertical. Thanks so much for listening.